Years in the start. They finished the mission. They survived space. They were coming home. NASA knew something was wrong. Engineers warned them. But no one stopped the landing. Columbia didn't explode in space. It broke apart because silence was chosen over truth. This is the story of a disaster that began on Earth. Years in the start. If you think space kills astronauts with explosions, you're only half right. Sometimes, space lets you finish the mission. Sometimes, it lets you come home. And sometimes, it waits until you are almost safe. Almost home. Almost done. This is not the story of a launch failure. This is not the story of an engine explosion. This is the story of Space Shuttle Columbia. A mission that succeeded in space. And failed because warnings were ignored on Earth. The year is 2003. NASA believes it has learned its lessons. 17 years earlier, the world watched Challenger explode live on television. 7 astronauts lost. A nation traumatized. After Challenger, NASA promised one thing: never again. But time is dangerous. Because as years pass, memories fade. Warnings become paperwork. Risks become routine. And danger becomes normal. Columbia was not just another shuttle. It was the first space shuttle ever to fly, in 1981. Older than Discovery. Older than Atlantis. Heavier. More worn. By 2003, Columbia had already flown 27 missions. It carried scars. But NASA believed scars meant experience. They believed the shuttle was strong enough. They were wrong. 7 astronauts boarded Columbia for STS-107, Rick Husband, Commander. William McCool, Pilot. Michael Anderson, Payload Commander. Kalpana Chawla, Mission Specialist. David Brown, Mission Specialist. Laurel Clark, Mission Specialist. Ilan Ramon, Payload Specialist, Israel's first astronaut. They were scientists. Researchers. Explorers. This was not a flashy mission. No space station docking. No repairs. Just science. Pure science. For 16 days, Columbia orbited Earth. The crew conducted over 80 experiments, medical research, crystal growth, fluid physics, space biology. Everything worked perfectly. No alarms. No emergencies. From space, the mission looked like a success. But the disaster had already begun. January 16, 2003, Launch Day. At 82 seconds after liftoff, something small happened. A piece of foam insulation broke off from the external fuel tank. Foam had fallen before. NASA had seen it many times. But this time, the foam hit Columbia's left wing. At 800 kilometers per hour. The impact punched a hole in the heat shield. A hole no one could see clearly. A hole no one wanted to talk about. Engineers noticed the foam strike. They were worried. They asked for satellite images to inspect the wing. They asked for help. The response: foam strikes are normal. There is no safety issue. The mission is not in danger. Sound familiar? Apollo 1. Soyuz 1. Challenger. Different decade. Same mindset. NASA leadership made a dangerous assumption: even if there is damage, there's nothing we can do anyway. So they chose to do nothing. The crew was never told the full truth. They joked. They laughed. They prepared to come home, not knowing the shuttle was already wounded. February 1, 2003. Columbia begins re-entry. At Mach 25, the shuttle hits Earth's atmosphere. Temperatures reach 1,600 degrees Celsius. Normally, the heat shield protects the shuttle. But hot plasma found the hole. It entered the left wing. Silently. Relentlessly. The wing began to melt from the inside. Sensors began failing. Temperature readings spiked. Tires lost pressure. Mission control noticed. But didn't understand. No alarm screamed. No explosion occurred. Just numbers slowly drifting into the red. At 8:59 a.m., Commander Rick Husband responded calmly, "Roger, BU." The transmission cut off. Seconds later, Columbia broke apart over Texas. Debris rained from the sky. People looked up. Confused. NASA stared at empty screens. 7 astronauts were gone. Search teams found debris across 2,000 miles. Burnt metal. Personal items. Fragments of dreams. The truth could no longer be hidden. The foam strike was real. The damage was fatal. The warnings were ignored. Again. The official conclusion, the physical cause was foam damage. But the deeper cause? Culture. A culture that normalized risk. A culture that dismissed engineers. A culture that believed experience meant invincibility. The same culture that killed Apollo 1. The same culture that killed Challenger. After Columbia, NASA grounded the Space Shuttle fleet. In 2011, the Space Shuttle program ended forever. No more launches. No more wings. No more foam. Columbia was the final warning. We remember explosions. We remember fireballs. But the most dangerous failures are the quiet ones. Columbia didn't explode at launch. It didn't fail in space. It failed because no one listened. Space doesn't punish mistakes. It punishes arrogance. And the silence that followed Columbia still echoes through the history of spaceflight.